We've received a message from Margrave Gautier. It seems there's an emergency at the capital.
Oh, now they finally give it to me after I fight a second battle. Well, let's see what this has to say for itself.
No. I hope His Majesty is safe.
Cornelia has arrived at the gates of Ferdiad, leading the combined forces of the Western Lords.
Great.
And here I thought we were keeping an eye on those guys. It seems they outsmarted us, though. If this message is anything to go by, they must have been hiding their tracks from us somehow.
Sounds like they're outfitted with strange new weapons as well, which they use to threaten the citizens of the capital. And so, our fearless leader surrendered to the enemy to protect the people of Ferdiad from harm. I'm not sure what's become of Dedu or my father.
Oh, that's gonna make things complicated.
And what about my father? He was guarding the city with Duke Ivan.
I haven't heard of any harm to Gustav, but we can't assume the same for the Duke.
I'm worried about Dedu and the others. I can only hope they're unharmed.
I agree, but they're not the sort who would abandon their duties to save their own skin.
We need to head north, Felix. There's no time to lose.
Right you are. We make for the capital.
Such a selfless leader, sacrificing his own well-being for that of his people. It seems somewhere along the way he's actually become the kind-hearted king you took him for.
What's that framing supposed to mean? I mean, I know what it means, but shh.
Maybe. But if he does die, the people will be next.
As if there's any avoiding that. Let's say he'd turned his back on his citizens and sought to prolong his own life instead. He would be reviled as a warmonger, one who sought conflict to protect his people, only to abandon them to the wolves when it mattered most. Commoners and lords alike would cast off their allegiance to him, and the kingdom would plunge into chaos.
Either way, there's no point speculating. If Dimitri dies now, it's all over.
Wait, are they spelling Dimitri's name differently? What? I thought there wasn't an I between the D and M. Huh. That's new.
Ah, the struggles of being a leader. Your choices certainly carry more weight than those of a simple mercenary.
Merc life's a walk in the park in comparison. All you have to care about is you and your company. And if worst comes to worst, you can just drop everything and run for your life.
Not to say the profession doesn't have its own share of challenges. One's not necessarily harder than the other. But one thing is clear to me, at least. You'll never be cut out for the nobility.
Yeah.
I could do without the insults, thanks.
You live by them anyway. Alright, while I was wandering around, new people showed up and a bunch of people had new conversations to add. Let me just show that real quick if I can remember the button. Yep. As you can see, a lot of people have stuff to say now that we've gotten the next story points, so let's go ahead and see to them real quick.
Listen for a spell.
Members of the royal family have possessed superhuman strength for generations. They could break free from the sturdiest of prisons. A person has two options if they wish to capture a member of the royal family: lock them in an enchanted cell, or somehow sap their will to escape. I'm concerned about His Majesty's health and the safety of the capital's citizens. We must return to Ferdiad post-haste. Alrighty then. There's no blaming Duke Ivan and Gustav. Cornelia just got the better of us this time. And if they use those strange weapons to hold the people of the city hostage, we'll be totally helpless. I just hope everyone who went back to the capital is alright. Don't worry. I'm sure Rodrigue, Dimitri, Dedu, and the others are all okay. Pretty annoying that those empty words are the only hope we have to cling to. I guess it's all we can do right now, though.
Counting on you.
Most of our soldiers will stay behind Denarian Road. This battle will be a display of skill, a fight between a small group of elite warriors. Yeah, pretty much. Luckily, we do have the elites, so we'll see how this plays out. It appears Cornelia has led the Western nobles in a surprise attack on royal territory.
Troubling indeed.
Moreover, she is in possession of some strange weapons. How terribly concerning.
Let's see.
Why does this Cornelia person hate the royal family so much? Who knows? What is certain is that she has greatly changed from the times when she was called a saint.
In short,
In any event, this matter is much more than a civil war. If we do not deal with it promptly, the kingdom will fall into ruin. Yeah, and then we'll have far worse things to worry about then.
What?
What? If you don't need anything, quit slacking and get to work. I'm gonna be staying in Aryan Road. No need to worry about things here. You all just hurry up and rescue the king. No pressure then. Interesting that we're technically near Aryan Road. We've only done a couple of battles trying to just get back to Ferdiad. We're one step away from the worst case scenario. We've got to rescue the king, and fast. Looks like I'll be lecturing him for once. Well then. Nice.
A moment of your time.
Beneath the royal castle in Ferdiad lies a staunch, inescapable dungeon. If Gustav and our allies were captured, that's where they'd be held. By the by, there are rumors that the prison connects to the capital's underground waterway. I've never seen any evidence of that myself, but it could be cleverly hidden. Actually, it might be possible that someone like Rhea or Sedith would know about that. Well, maybe not Sedith, but maybe Rhea would know something. I wonder if Dimitri is safe, and all the people of the city as well.
Oh.
It would be just terrible if someone ended up injured, or worse. And what in the world are those strange weapons we heard about? I think they're called the Viscum, if I'm remembering correctly, but I guess we'll see before too long. Who's supposed to be here? Ah, here we are. Yeah, someone's worried.
What?
Oh, sorry about that. I was just thinking about my father.
Hey!
It's okay, Annette. It's only natural you'd be worried in a situation like this. Thanks for saying so. I'm sorry to make you stop and comfort me like this. They just have to be safe. I know it. Hopefully so.
It's a tough one. Nothing to report.
Greetings, Commander! Nothing to report. Though, actually, it seems like there are some terrible goings-on in Ferdiad. I'm worried sick about the people in the capital and everyone from the church. Yeah. Wasn't that the exact same dialogue? Whatever.
Can I help you?
It appears Ferdiad has fallen into turmoil, and Cornelia is sending troops out here to Aryan Road. I imagine she's trying to predict our movements, or maybe she already knows exactly what they are. Journeying north will be treacherous, so please be careful. May the goddess bless you all. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how this plays out. Also interesting to see how the frame rate always jumps up whenever I go into that little tower. It's just like His Majesty to let himself get captured to protect the people. He never takes his own life into consideration when thinking things through. Yeah, I can see that. Why do you think Dimitri's like that?
Oh no.
Like most things with him, it all comes back to the tragedy of Duscur. His Majesty might not care about his own life, but we have to make sure he knows we can't afford to lose him. Yeah, that's putting it mildly. Calm down, Bernie. Strife has broken out in the capital, but it seems like Camulus is safe. Even so, if Dimitri is killed, the church folks under his protection will likely be in danger too.
And so
So we're putting forth every effort right now. Oh, speaking of which, I put the word out to a powerful merc I know.
Huh?
A powerful merc, you say? Who is it? Do I know them? Doubt it. She was my old partner in the Knights. Her name's Shamir. Oh, that's how Shamir gets dragged into things here. Nice. Alrighty, we'll see how that plays out then. Although I do wonder, because in the support log there's another character I haven't unlocked yet that has supports. I wonder who that is.
got a minute?
People from Shrang did attack, but the raid was small enough that our forces were enough to contain it. Cornelia may have exaggerated the particulars so she could confuse our movements and cause chaos in the capital. Or is it even possible that she instigated the attack in the first place? Possibly. It seems we were correct to suspect Cornelia and her ilk for Count Rowe's abduction, manipulating him as the intermediary for the Western Lords, stirring them up to oppose His Majesty. She is truly a vexatious adversary. I certainly hope we're able to strike her down in Ferdiad. Yeah, that's gonna be a fun one to deal with, isn't it?
Honestly, I don't know. Ugh.
So it was a trap after all. I knew something was off. Dimitri probably shouldn't have gone out there. Though I guess they don't have any room to talk on that front. Alright, pretty similar to before.
Excuse me.
Cornelia was the one who attacked the royal capital. I heard that she fled westward. The Western Church wields great influence in Western Fargus, so it is difficult to ascertain the situation. The people of the Western Church have always been uncooperative with Lady Rhea, but their recalcitrance has become all the more pronounced since the beginning of the war. Why can we not just get along? Lady Rhea is surely sad about this state of affairs as well. Yeah, but that doesn't mean they're all gonna... I don't want to get along given given how personal it is for a lot of them. Either way, see, Ash wants to go on an expedition? I don't know if I've shown any of these on camera, so I may as well go through this one and then keep at it elsewhere. Alright, let's be off.
Sorry for the wait. I'm excited to find out where we're going. Yes, I can't wait.
Alrighty then.
It's so nice and quiet here. The weather's amazing too.
Oh hey, Dimitri's in serious trouble. Let's go for an expedition.
Where? Oh, I guess I missed it. Let me know if you see another one.
Alrighty then.
I'm glad you asked me out here. Work has sort of ground to a halt recently.
Yeah, I figured I should have gone with the other one, but I'm terrible at this minigame. Welcome to watching me be terrible at this minigame.
Tales of people's travels around the world. If you close your eyes and imagine really hard, it's almost like you're there on the adventure yourself. That's great.
Kind of surprised that one worked, honestly, but I'll take
Everyone
it.
has to figure out their own sense of justice for themselves. I agree.
Well,
Thanks. I'm glad we got to spend some time together.
alright, back to the fray. Let's see, is there anything else I should see to before I call it here? This may end up being one of the longer small chunks, quote unquote. Actually, you know what? If I want to properly break it up into half-hour chunks, let's throw some supports in the way.
Never thought I'd see the day you shut yourself in your room to read. I hear you've been pouring through every book on magic you can get your hands on.
Hey, I read sometimes.
Sometimes.
Anyway, I had this great idea I needed to do some research for.
I'm afraid to ask. Wait, what's that diagram?
A perceptive question. This here is a blueprint I came up with for a new kind of fire orb.
Really? You're talking about those flame-flinging siege weapons, right? Because that looks pretty small for a fire orb.
Well, that's the point. I want to make it so that our knights can carry one around as easily as they do their swords.
What would that accomplish? Knights don't have the training to use something like that.
Right you are. The wielder needs both special training and some natural magical ability to use one. At least that's the case with our current fire orbs. Which brings me to my main goal, making it so that anyone can use them, no matter their background. I mean, think about the havoc we could wreak if your average knight or myrmidon could also blast out some fire magic whenever they wanted.
That's actually a great idea, Sylvain. I bet we could come up with some amazing battle strategies with those things.
Right? I knew you'd see the light.
Oh boy.
Either way, it won't be ready anytime soon. I'm not sure when I'll finally be done with it, honestly.
If you don't hurry, the war will be over before you're finished.
Battle's not the only place it'll come in handy. People who don't have any other training could use it for self-defense.
Huh. Come to think of it, that's the same reason you were so interested in my sword. Does this have to do with House Gautier? I know your family's been dealing with Shrang for years now.
Yeah, more or less. We've gone through some pretty tough times. My father's first wife, Miklon's mom, she died in a Shrang raid.
Oh, so that makes things... No wonder why there's more tension between you and Miklon. You're technically half-brothers? Huh. Wonder if that was ever stated in Three Houses. Interesting.
We've managed to hold the border for about 100 years now thanks to the Lance of Ruin. But they keep pushing our limits. Frankly, I admire their determination.
It did seem like Margrave Gautier was pretty used to fending off their attacks.
It's not like he's had much choice. Once I inherit his title, I'll keep doing whatever I can to hold them off. But it's going to be tough without a stronger military. If the king had forces of his own, he could send them in at a moment's notice whenever we were in trouble. Problem is, the last king already tried something like that. It ticked the local lords off to no end.
And then Dusker.
Makes sense. If the king grows stronger, everyone else loses a little bit of their own influence in comparison. Anyone would have a hard time swallowing that.
I'd say it's worth it if it means the kingdom won't descend into chaos. Whatever the case, Any reforms we enact will need to be peaceful and well-founded, which is exactly why I want us to be able to fight on our own, without having to rely on a relic or on other lords.
Wow, Sylvain, you actually sound like a real heir now.
He's gonna take that. Well, you know what? He's a good sport. He'll take it well.
It's a nice change from all the skirt chasing you used to do.
Hey, the future of my house is on the line here. Even the laziest guy in the world would be worried about that.
Fair enough. And at least you are taking it in stride.
Sure, the kingdom might be a half-frozen stretch of dirt, but it's my half-frozen stretch of dirt. And it's the only home I've got.
Home, huh?
What has you pondering that? Well, to be fair, you haven't exactly had all that much in the way of, well, familial... Well, actually, you have had familial connection, but for much of your life you've been a wanderer, so yeah, that would strike close to home. For lack of a better phrase, anyway. So what do you two have to talk about?
Hey, Ingrid. Glad I tracked you down. Have you ever heard of Tobias's mercenaries?
Oh, right. Not this thread. Cool.
What an odd question. Tobias, The name does sound familiar somehow.
Huh, I thought everybody knew about them. Captain Burling must have exaggerated that part. Anyway, they were a big mercenary group my old captain used to be in when she was a kid. Apparently their leader, Tobias, was so loyal to one of the local lords that he was practically an honorary advisor.
Strange. I thought mercenaries kept interactions with their employers strictly business.
Well, if that's the case, then Shez has been doing a bad job about that.
Most do. But not only did these mercs fight for this lord, they pitched in building the castle town too. They even went so far as to trade their swords and bows for hoes and pitchforks and tilled the barren land for the farmers of the region. And they opened up shops in town when the lord was going through some financial troubles.
It sounds like they went far beyond what is expected of most mercenaries. Unless... Is that something you all do?
Oh, not at all. We're fighters through and through. Nobody in their right mind would ask us to drop everything to become farmers or merchants.
Yeah, have you seen him?
Basically, both the mercenaries and the lord were doing stuff way different from how they normally do.
Yes, of course. A bunch of sellswords planting seeds and tending a shop is certainly unheard of.
In the end, the captain grew so close to the noble of the region that people started calling him the Lord's right-hand man. I guess my point is, it doesn't matter what you are. Mercenary, knight, noble. You aren't tied to any one role just because of the title you hold. Even battle-hardened mercs can end up as farmhands if that's what the client calls for. And if that's possible, surely a noble can do anything they want too.
True enough. That ties into our conversation from before as well.
Well, yes, that was the whole point of bringing it up, but carry on.
Thank you. I will give the matter some thought.
Good. I know it won't be easy to find the answer, but I'm here to bounce ideas off if you ever need it. And no matter what, I'm just glad my old captain's story actually helped you. All this stuff about Tobias and his mercenaries really caught me off guard the first time I heard it.
You were right about that. But, I cannot shake the feeling that this Tobias person is familiar somehow.
What, did you read about it in one of your old Knight's Tales?
Wait, I remember now. I believe the noble in your story may have actually been my grandmother.
Wait, what?
Really? The last head of House Galatea?
Yes. I don't remember very well since I was still so young, but I recall she had a friend by the name Tobias. Though I find it difficult to believe the old man I knew was once a strapping mercenary captain.
You'd be surprised.
If it really was him, he must have climbed the ranks even further than I realized. I mean, not just anyone could meet a noble's family like that. Who would have thought this old story would hit so close to home?
Certainly not me.
Interesting. Bit of coincidental, but then again, if we're talking about kingdom nonsense, I guess it makes a degree of sense. Alright, so then one last one between Shez and Sedith. So what do you two have to talk about? There seems to have been some implications that Sedith knows something about this power you possess. I wonder if he'll touch on that at all.
Ah, I wanted to speak with you. You have made quite the name for yourself recently.
Oh, thanks.
A true feat for one so young. It is a shame you could not continue your studies at the academy. If only you had been graced with the opportunity to cultivate your knowledge and gain more experience alongside your classmates. it is likely you would have become influential enough to impact Fodlan's very future.
As if he's not already? Where are you going with this, Seta?
You have grown silent. Is something on your mind?
What do you all think of me? Honestly. We've fought enough battles together. You know I've got this mysterious power. You and Rhea, you're suspicious of me, aren't you?
Yes, I admit you are right. We have yet to determine if you are truly trustworthy.
Then why let us into the academy?
The power you possess is different from that of a crest. That alone is cause for suspicion, if I may be so blunt. You might not bear us any ill will, but what if you were to succumb to the manipulations of someone like Tomas?
That doesn't sound very likely. Although I guess it's possible I could accidentally hurt someone with it.
Precisely. And furthermore, the victim of said accident could be the Archbishop, or my sister, Flame. We must remain vigilant to even the slightest possibility of danger. I know the Empire often accuses the Church of exploiting the people to fill our coffers, but the fact remains that the Archbishop has always gone to great lengths to maintain peace in Fodlan. She also serves as the spiritual guide for the vast majority of citizens here. We simply cannot risk losing her, even if it is only a 1 in a million chance.
Why bring all of this up, though?
Well, okay. If that's the case, what do you want me to do about it?
Precisely.
I can't just leave. That would be a huge problem for Dimitri and everyone else.
I have no intention of telling you to go. I am well aware of how much the king values you. However, I would ask that you keep your distance from the Archbishop, and to stay away from Flame as well. This could prove difficult given you two serve in the Kingdom Army together, but it is a personal request.
I'm not sure how feasible it is given that there's a couple supports between Shez and Flame, but... although it'll probably just be something in the training field or some nonsense like that if that's the case. I suppose we'll see.
I know this all may be unpleasant for you, but will you agree to do so?
All right. I won't go near the Archbishop, and I'll try my best to steer clear of Flame.
You have my thanks.
It's all right, really. I'm not sure what this power is myself. I mean, it's my body and all, but I really have no idea what it's gonna do next.
In time, I hope you discover the true nature of your power. If there is anything I can do to assist you with the matter, do not hesitate to ask.
Will do. Thanks.
Surely you recognize it though, Seth. Although I hope I didn't just bar the support with Flame because of that. Especially since it happens before this. I wonder if he would have been at all combative if I had promised not to stay away from Flame. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go find out real quick. Actually, do I have a... I don't exactly have a free save right now, do I? Hang on. I even... Huh. Technically, I do, actually. I didn't even realize, because this is technically the save I'm supposed to be using for the Kingdom stuff. Okay, so I actually do have a free save. Alright, I'm gonna go see if there's any interesting dialogue if I deny the request for Flame, specifically. What happens if I say not Flame?
I'll try to be careful around the Archbishop, but avoiding Flame is a bit much. Don't you think you're being a tad overprotective?
I cannot be too careful. As her brother, it is my duty to protect her.
It's all right, really. I'm not sure what this power is myself.
Okay, that's a pretty reasonable response, actually.
I mean, it's my body.
In time, if there
Will
Alright, pretty much the same otherwise. Okay, neat. You have a support with Yuri? That's random. What would you two up? Actually, you know what? Both of you were involved with the church in some capacity, given Yuri's went through the Officers Academy and was the head Ashen Wolf, so I guess that's not entirely out of the realm of possibility. I do wonder, though. I do wonder. Either way, that should be all from me. Now I just need to get back in there and give the Empire hell. Hopefully I didn't just bar the support with Flame. I guess we'll see.
I trust you've been well, Your Majesty.
Every time I think I can just sit down and grind, apparently there's another cutscene that I need to see.
Do I look it? I suggest you have your eyes examined if so. I should sever your head clean from your shoulders for this.
My, wouldn't that be satisfying? But of course you can't do that now, can you? Your poor people's lives would be forfeit the moment you struck me down. As for your loyal knight and the former Duke Fraldarius, they're certainly giving it all they have, but a paltry force that size will hardly buy them any time. And once we've wrung the life from them, you'll be next. How tragic it'll be, facing your beloved citizens for the final time with a noose around your neck.
You know, I almost appreciate seeing such bold-faced sadism. There's not a hint of nuance to it.
Well then.
Is that a compliment I hear? You'll make a lady blush if you're not careful. Ironic, isn't it? Both you and your father will have died alone, betrayed by lords from within the very kingdom you're meant to be ruling. From hasty reforms to insurrection and assassination, did you learn nothing from dear old Dad? It's only natural that those you refuse to help would hold a grudge.
Lady Cornelia, Kingdom soldiers approach the capital from the south. They're most likely returning from the assault on Arian Road.
I've been a bit too careless, it seems. They've come far sooner than I had expected. Use the bandits to buy us some time. We'll form ranks and intercept these fools at the capital.
Understood.
Seems you get to cling to your pitiful little life a few moments longer, Your Majesty. What luck. Oh, but don't worry. When your end does come, it won't change your beloved Fodlin one bit. You see, these people are nothing more than simple-minded sheep. A ruler dies, and they all go flocking straight to whoever fills the void.
We'll see about that.
They would hold a grudge. Yes, that is the way of revenge. Perhaps it was inevitable it would turn its cold gaze back upon me.
Pretty much. Well then. There's not going to be another one if I go fight this one, is there? I guess I can always cut back in if there is.